Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, I'm just going to pretty much cover all the latest little updates, changes, and stuff that's going on in Tarkov because there's been a lot of little minor changes and I haven't really put out information like this in a little while because of all the raids here I've got going on. It's taking up most of my time. So guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. Okay, so the first change that's happened recently that's actually a pretty major one is jackets. Now, the blue jackets now spawn keys. Not only just like the shitty like machinery key or something like that, they spawn all the keys. I haven't heard of any key cards being spawned yet, but at least shoreline keys and just all the random keys out there can spawn in them. So if you are walking past the jacket now, it's worth going up to it. I've found a couple of shoreline keys myself. I've heard of reserve keys, and it's going to put a lot more keys throughout the market. So they'll hopefully drop in price a lot too. In my opinion, it's a really cool change because it actually makes it so some of the static spawns aren't as important anymore, and people can actually just start looting jackets as they go past and hope they find something good. In my opinion, if they remove some of the actual static spawns and possibly upped the spawn rate of the rarer keys on jackets, and that would kind of make it more of a dynamic loot section for the game, particularly with keys. I think this is really cool to stop people just farming particular keys in certain locations. But as a baseline thing, this is actually really cool in my opinion. Now, there has been a big change to the factory key, and a lot of people are really worked up about it, but I don't really understand why. So they've made the factory key 50 uses before it actually busts. But what you can do is you go to Jaeger, and at Jaeger level 2, you can barter trade the factory key with, I think it's like some MREs and some Iskra, like Russian MREs, and you get a brand new one back. So really what's all they've done is actually just made a bit of a money sink in the game that's not too crazy. It's like, might cost you like 50 to 100k in food, and you just replace your key. And you could do this, I would imagine you would not be able to use the factory key 50 times between each reset to be able to do this. So in my opinion, really cool change, gives you another money sink in the game. Money sinks are really important in a game that has a large economy like this, because if everything's making too much money, then we run into this issue where everyone's just extremely rich, and then the value of items drop, and so therefore there's no risk. And if you remove the risk from Escape from Tarkov, it's no longer a fun game. So it's only a small one, and 50 uses is a lot of uses before you need to worry about doing the actual barter trade to get it up to 50 again. So I think this is a pretty cool change. Anyway, moving on. There's been a heap of changes to ammunition for the costs, the damages, and the pens. I think accuracy has also been implemented into some of the changes as well. So the easiest way I can explain this, I'll put a link underneath the actual video in the description, but there is an ammo chart, and you can see all the information there. It's updated by the wiki guys. As soon as there's a change, they know all the ins and outs of when there's a change. Like, they know it pretty much instantly. These guys are all over it. And that's like, I know there's No Food After Midnight. He does an amazing spreadsheet on what tiers of armor get penetrated by different ammunition types and that. But he's one dude, and he, like I said, amazing spreadsheet. But the wiki guys will always have the most up-to-date information really quickly. So if you ever want to know the latest information, bookmark that wiki page on my Twitch channel, !ammo. It's honestly, I use it all the time because it's just, there's so many changes happening so often. And you want to know what happens with all this ammo, because you want to know what to use. Some of the costs that are really, and restrictions that are really important to people and been really prominent in conversation at the moment is the 995 ammo and the BS ammo for 545. With the BS ammo, the price has been pretty much doubled. It's actually 550-ish rubles now for a round. So it's actually increased the price considerably. You can still buy 400 rounds, though, which is pretty cool. The 995, its price is now around the $6-7 mark, which is probably about double where it was previously. And I haven't been able to buy it. I actually haven't been playing on an account that can actually buy it anyway. But it's got a restriction now. As previously you could buy unlimited 995 ammo. So it's kind of restricting that top tier ammunition. I don't know if they're going to go down the path that you can actually start crafting this ammunition a lot more in the hideout. They do go down that path. I really would like to see some sort of queuing system for production in the hideout. So for example, if you had 10 lots of, or you would be able to craft 10 stacks or 10 crafts in a row. You could literally just say, I want to craft 10 lots of it, and the hideout could just constantly craft it over and over again. Something like that would really make a lot more use out of the hideout instead of having to constantly check on it every couple of hours. Now, this one's a little bit older, and it's a bit older news. I'm sure you've probably seen a lot of YouTube videos out there and that of all the spawns. But LEDX spawns are now outside of labs. You can actually find them in Shoreline and Interchange. The only confirmed spawn outside of Shoreline that I know of is in Emicon. Wherever a off-limit scope can spawn, LEDXs can spawn now. But in Shoreline, East 22226, it's in the 226 room inside the bookshelf. East 107, it's on a bottom floor. You can get this. There's a shelf inside there on the left-hand side in the office. West 104, this one is in one of the shelves as well, on the left and right-hand side, if I believe so. I've found one in both. West 301 is the top floor. There's 2 or 3 spawns in this one. Just check the whole room, you won't miss it. West 203, 205, this is covered in med spawns. So I don't know if there's multiple spawns to get it. I've only found it in one of the rooms, but there's so many med spawns. I always recommend buying the 203, 205 keys if you're trying to get, say, down in raid morphine and you're not very good at killing raiders. So pretty cool room to actually just have a key for if you do a lot of Shoreline runs, because if you're running out of meds or you want a safe place to get meds, that's the one I always recommend. And then East 314. This one is actually back in the other side room. There's a weapon crate and there's a big box. On top of the big box is you can find the LEDX up there. Now, the prices have dropped a lot, which is really good because they were getting well over 2 million rubles per LEDX. And I like the idea that they're spreading out some of this loot because it stops this whole running to one spot, just the farm. But all these loots being in Shoreline, in the resort, has actually turned Shoreline into an absolute PvP fest. Really cool, really fun going into the resort at the moment. I just want more dynamic loot though, more spread out, more like, I don't know. In my opinion, I'm loving the caches, whatever you want to call them. I love going around and just looting them from time to time because there's just so many of them, and they can pretty much spawn everything in the game. So in my opinion, they're worth checking out as well. I'll have a link below to the customs and Shoreline guides for those that I've put out. I do have an Interchange one coming. I just haven't had time to it. I'm really flat out at the moment. But I'm sure you guys, if you haven't learned those locations, every time you go past them, you should be checking them because they're worth checking out. Now, the last thing I want to cover, I'll do this pretty quickly, is the crafting in the hideout. There's been a fair few changes or additions or things that at least are noteworthy. The first one I'll show is the Wilson cigarettes. You need this for a mechanic quest called Bad Habit. And a lot of people have trouble finding the Wilson cigarettes. Now, if you find a Sakharil tea or you get a Sakharil tea and the shitty cigarettes that no one ever has any use for, you can craft 5 of them. So that's an easy one to get. If you're stuck on the Bad Habit and the Wilson cigarettes, these count as found in raid now. So anything that's crafted is found in raid. And that's definitely something that's pretty straightforward and easy. Now, sugar has made its way into becoming like a really valuable item to loot. There's multiple ways you can get sugar, and I'm about to go into that. But to my understanding, the reason why sugar is so important at the moment is for Moonshine, which is used in a trade where the scav goes and looks for the actual items, and you sometimes get back some pretty rare items. Now, I haven't done a lot of those trades. I've done about 7. I probably had like maybe 2 that gave me my actual money back. So for me, I don't think it's worth it, but I will put some more time into it. I'm actually doing the up to 70,000 ruble one now. I'm getting 100 of those done. I'm nearly finished there. Once I've got that done, I'm going to give an overview of that. But currently, I don't know how well this Moonshine is running for people with the trades or for going out for the scav searches. But if you do have really good ones, awesome. But I don't think it's really worth it at the moment. But when it does come down to sugar, the first one is you need to find 5 of the meds or get 5 of the meds. That's for a sugar barter trade from a therapist. But after that, you can get the Alyonka, 2 of them for a sugar. Now, that means if sugar's selling for around 65,000 rubles at the moment, the Alyonka, or whatever you want to call it, is also worth about 30,000 a pop because you need 2 for the 1 sugar, and that works out sweet there. Another thing you can do with the sugar is also go sugar with milk to make condensed milk. And the condensed milk do sell for between 18 and 20,000 rubles on the flea market and to therapists. So I think sugar's going to hold its value for a while now, which is pretty cool. Now, a little barter trade that you might want to keep an eye on if you are struggling to find rec bats. One of the power banks with a screwdriver does get you 2 rec bats. Because it's found in raid, you can hand them in for a quest. I know Mechanic or Peacekeeper needs them for a quest, so it's worth checking those out if you need them. This one's been around for a little while, but corrugated hoses were really annoying. If you are struggling to find them in raid, you can do the tape and the wires and the tube to get yourself a couple of corrugated hoses for the quest. Now, I'm sure you've already noticed this one if you have upgraded the hideout, but it's definitely something you should take note of if you're newer to the game and you get up to the quest where you need to get corrugated hoses. Now, a new trade that's pretty cool, particularly if you're stuck on the car battery quest by our therapist, which is called car repair. But if you need to get car batteries found in raid, you need a military battery and a Leatherman's, and you can get yourself 5 car batteries. Nice, sweet, and simple. That can make that quest nice and done. But it also does trade. Car batteries do trade for a scoped Mosin. So if you can actually do this trade, you can get yourself 5 Mosins. Now, I don't know the exact value of all that. I'm pretty sure the mill bat sells for about 250k and the Leatherman be about 20. You're getting 270,000 rubles worth for 5 scoped Mosins. That's probably about a profit of maybe 30 or 40,000 like rubles saved. I'm doing that at the top of my head. I'm pretty sure a scope Mosin's worth about 55 to 60,000 rubles. So it's just these craft items and options are just really cool. I like them. I think it's really worthwhile. The last one I'm going to point out here is the cords for wires. There's a lot of upgrades in the hideout that you need wires for, and these cords will be able to save you some money there if you actually want to just get some wires for that, or if you're on the quest that requires you to handy wires. But these are really easily found in interchange, on computers, and tech shelves, and all that. So you shouldn't have too much issues there. So guys, I'm sure this video is probably a lot longer than I anticipated it being, but I'm trying to punch this one out, get all that information out there and do a short update. I might do these at the end of each week if there's actually enough information out there to actually give you guys. I don't want to just post a video and say, hey, factory keys changed, 50 users, and and then that's it. End of the video. It's like a 45-second to a minute video. I'm going to try and punch all the information that actually comes in that's relevant into a short video, and then I'll try and put them out once a week. The raid series does come back in on Monday. It's always Monday to Friday, 5 episodes a week. I've started filming and recording and editing the next 5 episodes, and they're a lot longer. You guys asked for longer episodes. I'm working on it. It's a lot more work, but I'll try my best to get those out for you. Also, no more night raids during the series unless I'm using NVGs. I know you guys, some people had issues with either your phone or your monitors being too dark to be able to see anything during those night raids. So I'll make sure I'm using NVGs during those ones. To finish up, guys, thanks for watching another video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future content. I do stream on Twitch every day of the week, except for today and tomorrow. So go down the link below. Give me a follow over there. If you've got any Tarkov questions, feel free to hit me on my live stream or down in the comments below. And lastly, I'll see you next time. Just a special big thanks to everyone for all the subscriptions over the last couple of weeks or last month. We went from like 80,000 subs to 100,000 subs in like a month. It was insane. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. You guys are amazing. Yeah. Guys, incredible.